Hello, this is William from Visual Components. In this video, I'm going to show you how to attach components to other components in the 3D world. Now, the main reason for attaching components is so that the components move together. So what I've done, I created a layout with a couple use cases. So in this first case, we have some office equipment that we want to attach to this table. So when I move the table, I want the equipment to move with it. In the second use case, we have a workpiece positioner. So I want to attach this part to this mount plate of the positioner, and when I interact with the joints, I want the part to move as well. In the last use case, we have some products, so when we attach the products to this crate and move the crate around, we don't want the products to fall off, we want them to move with the crate. So are you ready? Alright, let's get started. The first step is to select the component you want to attach. So in this case, I'll select the printer over here, and let's go and get a better view, so I'll just zoom out and pan the view. And what I want to do is I want to attach this printer to this table. So on the Home tab, I'll go to the Hierarchy group, and then click this command here called Attach. Now notice the tooltip description. It says Attach node to a new parent. Now components are made of nodes, and every component has what's called a root node. So right now what I'm doing is I'm attaching the root node of this printer to a node in another component. It could be this computer screen, it can be the table, it can be whatever node you want. So I'll go back here and click the Attach command, and now in the 3D world I can hover over a component to get a preview of what node I'm attaching the printer to. So this red bounding box shows the geometry of a node that I'm pointing at, and it's actually encompassing all the geometry of the table. So I could just left click right here to attach the component, but if you don't want to do it this way, you can go over here to the Attach to Parent task pane. Notice there's a node drop down menu, so this displays all the nodes in the 3D world, and notice here's that ergo table. It only has one node, so I'll just click there. And now the printer is attached to the table. And to verify that, we can see that there's a blue arrow pointing directly from the printer to the table. That displays the component's parent. So in this case, this printer is a child component. And what that means is when I move the printer, I'm not moving the table. But when I move the table, notice that all the child components of the table are moving with it. Likewise, if I select the printer and I now go to the Component Properties panel and I change the coordinate system to parent, it's now referencing the origin of the component's parent, which in this case is the table. So if I actually reset the X value to 0, notice that the printer is now moving closer to the table. Let's say we want to detach the printer from the table. Well, I have it selected here. I'll go back to the Home tab, and on the Hierarchy group, I'll click Detach. So this is detaching the component from its parent. Now, if a component is attached to another component, you can detach it, but let's say the component is attached to the 3D world. Well, then this option won't be available. And what that means is if I actually select the table here, notice there's no detach command available. That's because this component is directly attached to the 3D world. Likewise, the computer screen is attached to the 3D world and the keyboard is. So to detach the printer, I'll just select it here, click Detach, and now when I move the table, notice that that printer is not moving with it. So right now the printer is attached to the 3D world. And notice here in the Component Properties panel, the parent coordinate system is displaying the same location as the world coordinate system. Now for new users this can be a bit confusing, so I'll just walk you through the steps again. I have the printer selected. I'll then go to the Hierarchy group and click Attach. Select node I want to attach the component, and I probably want to realign or snap the printer somewhere else on top of the table. So in the Home tab, I'll go to the Tool group, click Snap, and let's actually just snap it right there to the top face. And yep, now the printer is there. So if I select the table, the child component is moving with the table. Let's do the same for the computer screen and keyboard. So I'll directly select the computer screen here, hold down the Control key and click the keyboard. So now I have both components selected, and let's attach them both at the same time. So in the Hierarchy group, I'll click Attach, attach them to the table, select the table, and now when I move the table, notice I have all the components moving together now. Now let's see how this works when you're attaching to a node and you're moving joints of a component. So I'll go to my second use case here of the workpiece positioner. So once again, we'll select the component we want to attach, go to the Hierarchy group and click the Attach command. You can directly select the node in the 3D world or use the Attach to Parent task pane. So I'll snap it right there. So now if I interact with those joints, let's actually use the Interact command. Let's see what happens. So I'll just spin the plate, and yep, now the part's moving with that joint when I interact with it. So yep, goes like that. So after you attach a component, it's usually best to then snap it to the location you want it to be. Or in some cases you can position the component first and then attach it. So let's actually see how that works in our last use case. So we have these products here. Let's actually go ahead and put them in the crate before we attach them. So I'll select the component here, this cylinder. Let's use the Move tool, and I'll just directly select this pink donut or this torus here. Just go and snap the cylinder right there inside the crate. Let's do the same for the ball. Let's do the same for the can. Make sure it's inside. It's not inside. Get in there. Alright, there it is. And let's not forget the bottle. We like to clean up after ourselves, so we'll put all those in. And now let's attach all 4 components. Now, instead of directly selecting all of them, actually we'll go to the cell graph panel. And under products and containers, we can see we have the red box, the bottle, the can. So I'll just select the category here to select all 5 of those products, and I'll hold down the control key and deselect the red box in the 3D world. So I have the bottle, can, ball, and cylinder selected. Let's now use the attach command. Attach them to the crate. Let's select the crate, and now when I move the crate, yep, all the products move with it. Now, one benefit of having the Essentials with Modeling Pack is actually you can save this component along with its child components. So when you load the crate into the 3D world, you're going to be loading all of these components as well. And let me show you how this works. So I have the crate selected, and I know when I move it, I'm moving also all of its child components. So now I'll save this component by going to the Modeling tab. And then let's go to the component group and click Save. Notice I get some information here. So let's actually change some information. So we'll say red box with components. Or actually, let's make that products. Alright, description. Just change red box with products. And let's go ahead and click Save. And oops, I made a mistake, sorry. It seems that I can't overwrite the file by saving. I have to save it as a whole new component. So I apologize for that mistake, but I'll leave in the video. Cancel out of this. And let's actually use the Save As command. So save component as. So we have the same information here. Let's now click Save As down here in the Save Component task pane. And I'll just save it as Redbox with products. Alright, so now I saved that in my My Models. So let's actually go back to the Home tab. And go to the eCatalog panel. And in my eCatalog panel, I'll change the source or collection I'm working with to be My Models. And there's my red box with products. So now drag that into the 3D world. Yep, there are my red crate and my products. Awesome. Alright, this concludes the video. If you have any more questions, please feel free to visit our forum at forum.visualcomponents.com. And as always, have a wonderful day.